Okay, great, so I'm going to start. My name's Johnny Disco, I'm your host for the evening. This is the second semi-final of the Welsh Ensign Stand-Up Awards, sponsored by Route 1 in association with St David's Hall. Right here in National Backpack Festival.
And I do like living here. I spend a lot of time in hostels up in London. And by my hostel a couple of days ago, there was a homeless man with 5 dogs. All the same breed. And he had a sign that said, "Please spare change or advice." So after like the 3rd day, I went up to him and I was like, "Sir, stop buying dogs." And the worst part was, he's sitting there and he's just feeding pigeons breadcrumbs. Just feeding them. And I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, okay, clearly pigeons are the homeless people of the animal kingdom. You know, think about it. There's a lot of similarities between the two. You know, they're always in the way. You know, they expect me to feed them. You know, and if I really felt like it, I could easily kick one. So...
A good way to illustrate this is there's a film on YouTube called A Swansea Love Story. Has anyone seen that? Yes. Right, it's brilliant. For those who haven't seen it, right, it's on YouTube, it's a documentary, it's real, and it's all about these 2 heroin addicts, or as they're called in Swansea, citizens, and they're in love, right, and it's kind of horrible because they're junkies, right, but they're still, at their core, really lovely people, and that's the thing that makes the documentary so heartwarming. Like, it's not like a Hollywood love story. Like, you need to know that, like, you know, in Hollywood love story, you've got, like, pretty woman, so there's, you know, Richard Gere and the prostitute. I mean, to be fair, Swansea's halfway there with this one. But, and you know, the famous lines from Hollywood films, like, you've got, you know, is it raining? I didn't know this. Yeah, lovely. You know, more likely in Swansea love story would be like, oh, fuck me, am I bleeding? I haven't noticed. You know what I mean? It's more like that, but it is lovely, and it shows these people are just, they are decent. Like, there's this bit where they go and take heroin, right? And they go to, they're behind the shop, and they're taking heroin, and they start, you know, taking heroin, and then they've taken the heroin, and they take out the needle, and one guy just throws it on the ground, and his mate goes, "Mucky pup." As if there's anywhere near the worst thing they've been doing that day.
I'm proud of myself. Well, I'm not proud of making those horrible stereotypical judgments there. Sorry about that. I don't like anyone who does that sort of thing. I was out with some mates recently, and I met a guy who does that. Freaked the hell out of me. I sat there and said, I met a gay bloke last week, because I had done. It was relevant to the story I was saying. And a guy next to us in the pub, complete stranger, about 45 years old, turns to me and goes, "Oh, did he try and bum you?" And I was shocked, because my response was, "Not that I noticed." I goes, "Oh, you were lucky." Now, that was stunned me to silence. And he took my silence as agreement, because he carried on talking. Then he went on a massive rant. And he clearly hadn't thought it through, because his rant was, "Oh, I hate them gays, coming over here, taking our jobs." And there's other wild inaccuracies. And he clearly hadn't thought it through, because his ending statement will stay with me to the grave. And he said, "I tell you what, if I had my way, I'd take all them gays and I'd sterilise them all." Yeah, I'll show them, and then have to adopt. How will they manage?
Hello Cardiff. It's really nice to be here in Cardiff because I'm from a place called the Rhondda. This really is actually genuinely nice coming to Cardiff when you live there, because if you don't know the Rhondda, just sort of imagine Hollyoaks set in like, Auschwitz, but with better acting. I'll give you an example of the mentality of the sort of people that live there. I was in a pub the other day and I overheard a man talking, and he said, "The thing is, foxes are attacking humans now, aren't they?" In a Daily 800 sound. Are they? Yeah. Foxes are attacking humans now, and I got 3 kids to think of, so I went out and bought a pit bull. I was...
I was supposed to shake his hand, it was quite embarrassing. Do you ever think that librarians go home at night and just go, "Ah!"
So I ended up at a house party the other night. I was talking to this guy and I was a bit hammered, so I was really trying to process information, trying to make friends with people. Going, "Hiya, alright. Tell me a bit about yourself." He was like, "Oh, thanks for asking. What can I say? Well, I've just come back from skydiving for 3 weeks." I was like, Fuck, you must have started from high up. So, when I say, right, I recently got married.
Yay!
Thank you very much. It's wonderful being married. I've changed a lot since I got married. You have to change. Anybody who's married here knows that you have to change. You're married, aren't you, sir? Yeah, you have to change. I've changed. I've had to become much more ambitious. I wasn't ambitious before I met my wife. People would be like, Dan, what do you want from life? I'd be like, well, if you're not the shop, I'll be Yorkie.
Yeah, I love performing, but it's just good to get off of Facebook for a couple hours. Oh my God. You know, I'm a really happy person, but Facebook is making me hate myself and everyone else. It's not our fault, though. I figured it out. Facebook is basically a virtual scat fetish. Come with me on this. It's that shit-eating status update box. It just sits there 24 hours a day, begging the question, what's on your mind? You don't want to be on there. But you see that question, you think, yeah, I got some shit on my mind. Put that shit into the box. And then that box sprays your shit on the wall. Taylor Glenn is wondering when the M4 will be fixed near Newport. And just when you think you've hit rock bottom, you're like, I'm not going on here anymore. What happens? Bing! And Harry Jones likes this. And you think, God, I have good shit. There's more shit where that shit came from. Yeah, I'm thinking of taking up crack to get myself off of Facebook. It's got to be better for me. But then you know what'll happen. Taylor Glenn is addicted to crack. And Harry Jones likes this.
I know as a stand-up performer you're probably expecting me to exude confidence, but I'll be honest with you, right, I'm absolutely bloody terrified standing up here. I am. I won't say that I'm shitting myself, I think that's a bit vulgar, but I have to confess that I am emitting three-dimensional farts. I think my nervousness stems from having a lack of confidence and very low self-esteem. I've got such low self-esteem, in fact, that my idea of fantasising sexually is to close my eyes during sex and pretend that I'm someone else. My lack of confidence was compounded recently when I was a victim of identity theft and the thieves gave it back. And I cannot meet a woman. I went speed dating a while ago, the lady sat opposite me, she said, pick 5 words to describe yourself. I said, I'm inarticulate.
Has everyone noticed our very own purple helmet? Hang on, it's been sat there all night, just like that. Right, okay. The 3 going through to tomorrow night's final. You still can, it's going to be great. In no particular order, Ben Partridge, Taylor Glenn, and Dan Thomas.